Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to another episode of the Three Dudes Podcast, episode 80. 80! That's pretty cool, man. That's
80
even
burger.
cooler.
God, 80 burger, baby. Can't tell.
We are 80% of the way to episode 100.
Yeah. Episode 100, and then we can quit, and this is exciting. Can you imagine we actually did? Our audience just found out right there that we're done after 100.
Yeah, well, if they don't start giving us money, then...
No, 80's cool.
Enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Fan.
We get plenty of fans.
Yeah. What do we just hit?
500 on YouTube.
500 subscribers on the YouTube platform.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's taking me the most of today to adjust to the fame, but
The most of today.
I'm getting there.
Yeah. It's good. What have you guys been up to?
Didn't do a whole lot this weekend, really.
Yeah, man, I've been as sedentary as it gets.
Sedentary.
Played
You Google that word this morning, like I'm going to get this into the podcast tonight?
Should have.
probably he's on that Word app all the time.
Wordle?
Yeah, Wordle and
I'm on the 17-letter Wordle. Was I telling you guys about my new theory on luck?
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Did I talk about that on the show?
Yes.
Yeah, so I have successfully noticed it once. I'm in a bad luck streak right now. Things just were going south. One of my TSA pre-check appointment got canceled Friday because one of the employees got a brain tumor.
Ooh.
So I showed up, door was locked, called them, said, yeah, we're closed till next week. So I was like, interesting. It's not great luck for them or me.
Didn't you have to go to Bismarck for that?
Yeah, but I was already there for WDA
Oh.
basketball, so that's why I booked it. And I'll be there next weekend, so I can reschedule it. But there were a couple things where I noticed, I'm like, okay, I think I'm in a bad luck streak here. So I tested it, and I was at sidelines before the basketball game, and I lost on pull tabs, blackjack, and pig wheel, all within 30 minutes. So I'm like, this is interesting. So now I'm going to start looking for when some good luck stuff starts happening again, and then I'm going to test out the theory on the reverse end, see.
$5 in your couch.
Yeah, if I found $5 on my couch, that'd be definitely one. And I'm thinking you got to find like three good luck things that happen.
A streak.
Yeah.
Two's a
Pattern.
coincidence, three's a pattern.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm excited to find those three things. Might take a month, might take a week, who knows? And then I'm going to test my luck at gambling again.
What could be the luckiest thing that could happen to you?
I think double yolked egg be pretty good.
That always ranks up there.
You know, if I get one of those tomorrow and make them breakfast or something.
If
That'll
you
be a
buy
start.
the extra large jumbo eggs, I notice a lot of those have 2 in there.
Yeah. But I don't want to create my own luck.
No.
I don't want to go out of my way to go buy jumbo eggs to get 2 yolks, you know? So I feel like I'm cheating the system.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm excited to test that. It's a theory in progress, but I feel like this is what scientists do like every day, I think.
This is their job.
Yeah, because they are always
You
putting
have
out
a
articles.
hypothesis, and now you're using the scientific method to
Yeah.
test it out
Yeah.
and see what the theory is.
And honestly, I never thought I'd have to use the scientific method coming out of high school. And it
Isn't there like 6 steps to it?
took me 7 years.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wouldn't be entirely certain. I must be on step 2 or 3 by now.
The first one is to formulate a hypothesis.
Pull
Oh,
up
I'm
that,
definitely
pull up
past
that
one.
scientific method. Yeah, you form a hypothesis. I don't think you immediately test. Then do you
You think about it?
do
There's
you
2.
kind of like try to like generate what you think might be the answer,
Yeah.
and then
Ponder.
you test.
Step 2, ponder.
Yeah, step
Something
3,
along that.
test. Step 4, find if you're right or not.
And then step 5, celebrate.
Step 4
think
is
about next.
experiment. 5 is record data. 6 is formulate theory.
7, celebrate.
I think I'm in a bit of a bad luck streak myself.
Yeah, got some bad things popping up.
Just
Just things that aren't ideal.
just not ideal. Today
Yeah.
I was making breakfast, and last week when I bought the carton of eggs, checked them all, made sure they were all good. I got to the middle of the carton today. One
Yep.
was broken. Still ate it, but
Yeah.
one
That
was
wasn't
broken in
bad
there.
luck. That was me.
That was Broden
I've been in there
happening.
cracking the eggs just to spite you.
One time, Broden every morning walks in, just gives one a whack with a spoon, closes it.
Playing Xbox, I just got dumpstered today.
Yeah,
So hard, just dying for and just crazy angles.
yeah.
Like
So I'm
Just
thinking this theory. I'm onto something here. I think the data part's where I'm going to struggle though, Broden. What kind of data do I collect? Do I just write down what I told you guys?
Write down all
I
the good
journal.
luck and bad luck things that happen to you and date them
Okay.
and see what happens and see.
Find a correlation.
So I'm a
Yeah.
journalist. I want to do one of those lines where I can put points on it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
you,
graph.
How much of a bad luck thing is it?
yeah, you,
It's like way up here.
it's up to you.
Yeah.
You scale
There's
it
got to be
yourself.
like
Yeah.
a bell curve to it. There's got to be like the most medium luck and there's a bunch of it.
Yeah.
And then there's
Extreme bad luck. Like
it's very little.
arm ripped off in a hiking accident.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Had to cut your own arm off with a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. Chewed it off.
Yeah.
That would be like, I think they call those outliers.
Yeah, those are top of the bell right there.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to do this, and it got me thinking. I want to do more of this, so I'm going to start thinking more.
I'd pull up the journal app on your phone.
I'm glad this is.
You
Now
know,
I'm going to start thinking.
He's gonna finally start.
but you know, like no one
Thank
thinks
you.
about. When was the last time you hypothesized a theory, Broden?
Actually, last week
Yeah,
about
like formally.
yeah, like I tested why I was having such bad shits.
Okay,
And
how'd you test it?
well, I ate some dinner the other night and had a lot of cheese in it. And then
Okay.
like 30 minutes later, it was like, bubble guts.
Okay,
So then I ate the same thing the next night.
it's a horrible visual, by the way. Bubble guts.
I ate the same thing the next night,
Yeah.
but I left out all the cheese.
Okay,
No bubble gut. So I'm thinking I'm starting to have a lactose little problem.
Interesting.
It could just be the
You
cheese,
didn't
though.
think I was going to be that much
No.
hypothetical.
Well, if there's one hypothesizer in the room, I'd say it'd have to be you, though.
Yeah.
See, I feel like I'm doing it for the greater good of the world, and you're doing it internally. Like, can I afford cheese in my diet?
Right.
Yeah. Where I'm like, hey, I'm going to put an article out and be like, luck's a thing. And then I'll probably gain a bunch of notoriety and fame and win that award that,
Nobel.
Does
Yeah.
this article exist already?
no, it's a draft.
But I mean, have you Googled it?
No.
Has anyone ever done this before?
That's a good question.
Because
I don't think so.
I'm a man of many ideas,
Yep.
and I go,
Most have
this
been
should
done.
this should be a thing. And then I Google it and I go, this was
Do
invented.
you think it
8
stops
years
at
ago.
that point that you get to a point where you're like, it's probably already been done. So then you stop thinking about it, just assuming it's been done?
It depends on how much profit I could make from it. If it's something very minute in my day to day, I just do it. But if it's something where like at work, like anything that makes a job safer or more productive will sell immediately.
Yeah.
And then I Google that thing and I find out it's already
So you
exists.
do get to the Googling point.
Yeah.
See, I think of like business ideas all the time, and I'm like, someone's got to do that. Like one of them, I think a subscription-based gas service.
They have that.
See, I didn't Google it, but I'm like, it's got.
It's all over the Newtown reservation.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So you pay a monthly fee and you get free gas, or how does it work?
They pay a monthly fee and it's a flat rate no matter how much natural gas or propane or whatever it is that they use from the supplier.
Interesting. See, that would be kind of cool. That should be everywhere. Why is that not everywhere? It's probably more lucrative for the consumer than the business.
Right.
Yeah, fuck the customers, right? Customers are never right.
They're all just a paycheck.
Yeah.
That's what you have to think about.
But I think it'd be really cool if you could just pop up and you like scan your card. That's your membership card, and you immediately just start pumping. And
Oh,
there's
you're talking
different-
about for like gasoline.
Yeah. what
I
are you
was
talking
talking like gas for your house is what they
about? Oh,
There is
No.
gasoline ones too. I just saw an ad for it the other day.
is there.
What are the
they'll-
odds of that?
They'll drive right up to your house and gas up your car.
You got
before
double
leave for
covered
work.
here.
God damn. I got the safety over top and I got the corner on me. But so there is that. Because it'd be cool if like I can pay, there's different subscription models. You have the low end, middle end, high end if you travel a lot. And you just scan your card, you pump your gas, and then you go.
I want to say Sam's Club has something like that. If you go to Bismarck, go to that Sam. They have a gas station there.
Yeah.
And then I think if you have a membership there, like your gas is super cheap.
Hmm.
So it's not quite what you're thinking of,
Yeah.
but it's.
I haven't
getting
worked
there.
out the kinks yet.
And the ones that I know of, they don't do like a subscription. I think it's just like they'll mark up the gas 50 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
And then it's just 50 cents more a gallon for them to come to your house to fill it up.
Yeah, it sounds like shit.
You got that each stage of the scientific
method.
method here.
All right, let's hear it. Because I'm in ponder stage right now with
There
my
is-
gas business.
Question, research, hypothesis, experiment, data analysis, conclusion, and communication.
So how many? There's 7.
There's ones with 7, ones with 5. 4.
Okay. So let's go slowly. 1 is question, which I'm past that.
Yep.
Question the theory of luck.
Is
Okay?
luck exist?
2 is research. So I skipped that stage.
You're on that stage right now. You are going to start actively researching.
Well, no, because he's already formulated a hypothesis.
Yeah, I didn't do any research.
So I think we can say that step 2 is a little star next to it. Not necessary.
Yeah, optional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. 3.
3 is hypothesize, which I'm doing, or I did. Is hypothesis just what you think it is? You think the theory is?
Right. Like,
You would generalize the outcome.
So I would say certain luck streaks goes in waves, and when you notice they're on,
luck is just a
real.
sine wave, man.
Luck, yeah. Luck is real for sure.
It starts out
Medium.
in the middle. I think that's sine or it's cosine. I don't know. But then it goes up and
That's
then down.
interesting. I haven't done any research on if luck is actually real. Because if you think about luck, what is luck?
I think that's dependent on what you think luck is. if
I'll
well,
back that.
but I mean, luck is
Hey,
different.
you need a
for
signature
everybody.
on that? I'll cosign right there.
Well, let's say I just put my laundry in.
Yep.
Let's say when I walk downstairs today, and as soon as I walk in the door, it goes from 1 minute to 0 right when it's done. Say,
Yeah.
I'm pretty lucky. I got down here right at the right time. And some would say, yeah, I timed it okay. Like it just wouldn't be lucky to them, but other people could say, yeah, pretty lucky.
Yeah. So is luck like if the odds, the percentage of actually an outcome occurring, let's say it's 1 in 10, so it's 10% chance of you walking down like that. Luck, if it would happen like 4 times out of 10 in your recent 10 trips down to the laundry machine.
Then it
What's
would
it
be
called?
because it'd be
Washing
4 times. Yeah.
So is that would
Twice
that
would be a
luck?
coincidence.
Luck is just your odds are higher than expected.
Maybe. You know who you should ask about this is Lexi Albertson. I think at every single MSU bingo event and anything luck related, she's won.
Really?
She's won so much shit.
And some
It's
people are just
insane.
lucky, I think. How do you just be a lucky person? Donate to charities?
It's just in the cards. No, because I donate to charities every single time I check out from somewhere.
I don't think that money goes to charities. Well, I think it probably does, but I think it's more so a tax write-off for these big corporations.
For sure.
Could be. They
Yeah.
take it and then they donate it and then use your money as the tax write-off.
Yeah.
Right. Like your money's not going there.
So they
It's going
take
to
it,
them.
and then Marketplace might say, oh, you owe $50,000 in taxes. And they say, oh, well, luckily, here's a $50,000 chunk that we're giving to Pencils for Promise. And then they don't pay taxes, which is
What a
still good, I
stupid
guess.
What charity is that?
In case you need a pencil.
Yeah. Pencils
Is it
for
for
All
kids?
is their slogan.
Is it for kids?
Pencils for, I think it's about like,
Well, then it wouldn't be for all if it was just for kids.
yeah.
What if I call
Like
them right
school
now?
kids?
Like, hey, I'm out of pencils. hit me with a pack of Ticonderogas real quick.
Ticonderoga. I
Number
read
twos.
I read a book one time where they shoved a Ticonderoga up a guy's nose up until the like G or something like that.
That's up there.
Yeah.
I feel like
I'm
that
thinking,
would.
where's the G in that letter,
like
in that
I'm-
word?
I would hope it was like half a pencil, or else that would probably be touching his brain and he would die.
Yeah.
I think that
Full,
was
full
the plan.
pencil, probably kill him.
Yeah.
I
He
don't
was
know
an
if-
orphan.
You shove pencils up people's noses without the intention of murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not. But yeah, we'll get back to you on that hypothesis. What else is new?
Could be
Anything
next week, could
before
be-
we get into baseball.
I'm really into smoking meats lately.
Yeah?
This guy's been smoking. This guy's been actively working
Ribs.
towards burning my house down. Just one
He's
after
trying
another.
every night.
I went
Yeah,
out there
that's-
today before I left for golf, and it's snowing outside pretty well if you don't live in Minot. And
So
he has the
I have the electrical part covered.
yeah, he has the part of it covered with my old motorcycle cover back before I sold it,
Yeah.
and just to keep it off the electricals and whatnot. And the flap of it was over the vent for the smoker. I said, might not be good for it, but this was Broden's plan, so I trust it.
Trust the process. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. With the vent, you have the option, and it's fully safe, to close the vent all the way.
okay.
So if I have the vent closed all the way,
More smoke. Does it get in there?
what does it matter if it's covered?
But it wasn't covered. Or it wasn't closed.
It was probably, that's what I'm saying. So even if it isn't closed all the way and there is something over it,
Can that be good for you?
But the thing over it is metal. And the thing covering it right now is
nylon or whatever.
yeah.
I think
pantyhose?
it would, I think it's okay.
Hasn't burned down yet, so
It
it must be okay.
been going since 8 a.m. So
Yeah. You wondering if smoking meats is good for you?
Well, it's like the smoke is directly hitting the meat, right?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like there's got to be some toxins getting in that meat.
No, it's smoke from like
Wood chips.
natural, yeah, like wood.
Oh,
Wood
that's
chips
good.
or wood
So I mean,
pellets.
like
It's
you
not
cook something over a fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that good for you?
It depends on what you're burning. I mean, if you mix wood chips
you ever
and
made a fire?
5W20 motor oil,
Dude, I'm really bad at making fires.
I can
have
tell.
made one, but it's harder than you think when you don't go through Boy Scouts growing up. Trust me, when you're handed wet wood, it's virtually impossible. Stop right now. Okay?
hey, what you do with your wet wood is none of my concern.
And
I'm
you can
just-
hand it to whoever.
Yeah. Whether or not they take it is
Yeah.
up to them.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking, like, if I'm cooking a marshmallow. I'm not one of those people that's like, can't do that, not healthy for you. I know people that are, but it's like if I'm cooking a marshmallow and I'm getting just straight ash smoke into my marshmallow. I'd like to test that. Have someone eat like 300 marshmallows a day for 4 years.
I think,
I think that's
yeah.
enough to kill him.
Yeah, that
I think-
would, you just from marshmallows alone.
So you think there is a certain amount of fire smoke into your marshmallow that could kill you?
No, I think
The
there's a certain
marshmallow
amount
in
of
general.
marshmallows in your gut that can
Yeah.
kill you.
you should
Okay.
test this with like a steak.
Frank's. Okay, that too.
Yeah,
Frank's
that
hot
too.
dogs.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to
There's
smoke
nothing like a hot
dogs,
dog cooked over an open flame, man.
Well, anything, too much of anything
that's true
will
too.
ruin a guy.
I think anything is okay in moderation.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, too much fire smoke on your steak.
A little
So-
bit of murder.
So you wouldn't recommend smoking all your food?
There's foods that you definitely don't want to put in the smoker because it won't turn out good.
Corn?
No, you can smoke corn.
What foods? Strawberries?
Yeah, like anything that's not supposed to be cooked. I
Just
guess.
brought out a plate of freshly smoked strawberries for you
Any-
guys. Hope you guys are hungry.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Anything that you'd put on the grill, you could probably put on a smoker.
Oh, that's fair.
It's the same premise. Yeah.
Yeah.
We should
It's
have an
just
episode
a-
on grilling.
There we go.
Grilling is fun.
It's a good episode there.
This guy's a grill master.
I like to grill.
He can grill the steak within the like a very close doneness of what you prefer your steak to. And he just knows when it is.
So you tell me if I say I want a medium rare steak, he can accomplish that?
He'll whip it out for you.
I think that's the bare minimum of what I want from my grill master.
What else would you
I'm
like?
like, hey, medium rare. He's like, it's well done. I tried. Like, that's
I'd-
probably not
No, but
a great guy on the grill.
You maybe sometimes you'd have somebody do that, and then you'd cut it open and be like, it's a little more done than I'd want. It's
He's
not-
more consistent.
way more consistent.
Which is
super
good. That's a good
consistent.
trait
I
to have.
Very
appreciate
good
that.
at that.
Thank
Yeah.
you. I appreciate that.
That's funny that like he can get your steak to what you ask it to be. If that was
Like
the
every
base
time,
level
though.
of
Yeah.
Every time.
yeah, you left that part out though in your first rendition.
No, he's not going to cook 10 steaks and say pick one.
I'm lost now.
He'll do it on the first try every time.
Okay, gotcha. I got you now. Yeah, let's do an episode on grilling. I could see you on like a barbecue pit masters on the Discovery Channel.
Oh, that's him. He's
Smoke
that's the
masters.
pit master over
Meat-
here.
Meat smoker.
Grill master, smoke pit master, I guess. I don't know. Not really. I'm just starting to
The
get
meat
into it.
man.
But things are starting to turn out good. I did ribs last weekend, man. The meat man. I'm like the milkman. I just deliver meat to your front door.
All right.
Next
want
weekend,
some of my
I'm doing
meat?
a bacon wrapped roast. Throw it on my smoker.
Bacon wrapped roast. How big are those pieces of bacon?
Well, you have to do it in a weave. Is what- is
so
what
it's
I'm
like
gonna do.
looks like the top of a pie.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, yeah. So I'm
A
gonna take
lattice.
the whole package of bacon
Plaid roast.
and I'm gonna cut the roast in half so it's a little bit smaller. And then you just lay out all the bacon and then you make a weave out of it. If you've ever done that, get all
Yeah.
your pieces and then you put one down, fold some over.
I've
put
been
another one
weaving
down.
various meats and cuts of meats for as long as I could remember.
Yeah. Since I was a little kid, I think I was weaving meats for sure.
Maybe we'll just do an episode on meat.
Yeah, right now. Just
sign
meat
me up.
episode. Yeah. No, I can't say I've ever done that, but sounds good.
It's gonna.
If you can
I
get
think
it
it's
to the doneness.
I think it's gonna be good. Yeah, I mean, it all just comes down to internal temp, and that's about
Do you,
it.
are you a meat thermometer guy where you stick it in, or are you a touch the finger and then touch the meat kind of guy? Because I know
Depends what you're cooking.
There's
Yeah.
the trick. You can push in between your finger and thumb here. You can push the pad of your hand.
You can only do that really for
Push
like
your elbow for well done.
steaks and stuff.
Yeah, this
for
is
a rock.
steaks. Like I think thumb to pinky is like very well done, and then this would be more like rare, medium rare.
Yeah.
It depends on if you have it closed or not. You see the difference there.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
dude. If you
saying.
close the sucker thumb to pinky,
It's tight.
yeah, you could sharpen a knife on that.
Yeah.
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 I'd say it would go rare, medium rare, done,
medium.
well done, brick.
Brick. Yeah. I'd like to do an episode on grilling and kitchen because I like knives. I like to
Cooking.
talk about knives.
I like knives.
Yeah. Good chef's knife,
A
dude.
good.
Yeah.
We have some really good knives.
Yeah, they're not bad. I'd like to get a nice Japanese knife. Nice
Yeah,
kitchen
and they're
Like what are they?
$300
Like Damascus
each.
steel,
Yeah, one of the
where it's
one
like
of the
it's like
really,
500 layers of steel pounded into itself, and
Yeah.
they make a knife out of it. Super hard.
See, I think if I got a knife that good, I'd ruin it. Like, because you got to sharpen them, right? And then they just sharpen them on like a whetstone.
Yeah, so then you would have to invest the time to actually take care of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
If
that's
you're-
one of those things where it's a whetstone. You got to get the exact angle right
Yeah.
and push it through there.
Yeah.
Like it's
maybe buy like
it's a
a
process.
And you got to like feed it, like, yeah, like you're feeding dough through like
Yeah.
one of those things.
roller.
Yeah.
I think if you're really into that, you should maybe buy a kind of shitty knife and a whetstone, and then practice with that. Then when you're happy with yourself,
Yeah.
buy a little bit nicer knife. Try again,
I'm in this
and then keep going.
I'm in this kick lately that it's like I think there are certain points in your life when you're like, what am I really interested in right now? I'm gonna go heavy into that. Right? Where I think one day I'm gonna run into like a cutlery point in my life where I'm getting expensive aprons, wearing those hats, sharpening knives. And I think it'll last
Like a
couple months,
sous
yeah.
chef episode of your
Yeah,
life.
like I wanna really be dicing up some meals. Put them on ceramic plates instead of the plastic ones I use.
I think one of the biggest things I respect about you is that you stopped having meals delivered to your house.
Too expensive. I'd do it tomorrow if I wasn't so expensive.
I hated you during that period of time.
you were
Like,
the
you were
worst
my
person I
friend.
knew.
It was terrible to say, yeah, one of my best friends has meals delivered
Don't
to
knock
her.
it till you try it, man.
I'm going to knock it every time.
Order to his house.
It's a money thing.
It's
If
convenient.
if I was rich enough, I would have someone. We've talked about this. Make my meals for me
100%.
because
And
you
I
could
think
afford to
that's
have that time done for
I
me.
think that's a middle area. It's what we're doing now, going to the grocery store shopping, HelloFresh, or a meal delivery service, personal chef.
Yeah.
Also, I have another theory that going, and I've realized this because Shayna lives in Bismarck, so I don't really grocery shop and go get $200 worth of groceries because I'm not necessarily always cooking here. I'm in Bismarck, whatever. Going to the grocery store for like, oh, let's go get dinner for tonight is just as expensive if you're to just go somewhere and get food
Oh, yeah,
from
for
a
sure.
restaurant.
Absolutely.
It's pointless to grocery shop if you're in the situation then.
Yeah, because I do that frequently. Like if I text my girlfriend and say, "What do you want for dinner tonight?" She goes, this. And I go, "Okay, I'll run to the store tonight and grab
Yeah.
it." I go to the store
Not
and
worth
I
it.
drop $40-50, and I go, "We should have just
Yeah.
went to
I
Jimmy
think
John's."
the saving
Exactly.
grace of that, though, is that you get enough leftovers where you could maybe
That's the
too.
problem. I eat enough where there's no leftovers. You get 2 steaks. I have a steak. Shane has half a steak. I'm like, okay, I'll eat the rest of that steak. Food's gone.
right.
So I'm getting to the point almost where we can't be asking, and maybe it's different because obviously we're 2 hours away, but maybe you guys, your girlfriends live here, you can explain this. Deciding every single night, what do we want tonight? Steaks, go and get steaks, $50. Chicken, going to get chicken, $50. We can't just we got to do bulk, you know? It's like, here's what we're having for the next week.
Well, that's where
2
if you go
weeks.
to like Sam's Club or something, you can really like stock up on that stuff at a
Yeah.
good price and then have it sitting in your freezer. And then you got to, when you're shopping, like you got to ingredient shop too. Like if you're gonna go to the store, like drop some money on like different types of pasta, so it's all bought. Like you can make a bunch of different meals. Like I got a freezer full of ground meat. Like I can
think
make
that's the thing
spaghetti.
is the
I can
meat.
make different meatballs. I can make subs with it. I can make hamburgers. Like all that different stuff. Like It's just you got to pick and choose what you're actually buying.
Yeah. Because I think it'd be nice if I had a deep freeze just full. Maybe I wish I should have hunted earlier. Check out the hunting episode. But no, if I had a deep freeze full of meat, steaks and hamburger and pork, whatever.
Yeah.
Shayna's mom just dropped off a bunch of meat they had just in the freezer because they got their new meat coming in from this year's, whatever you call it, hunt.
Buy a cow.
Yeah. So they got this. They're like, oh, we got some extras that we never got to. Here it is. Gave to me. So now I got a bunch of shit in my freezer down here. Like, this is nice. I don't have to go to the store.
Like steaks
Spend
and ground beef.
$10 on hamburger. Yeah. Just, some hamburger, some pork, steaks. There's a roast in there.
Ooh.
This is nice.
Roast is great. I love a nice roast.
So yeah, that's my next, once I get past this luck hypothesis, I'm going to do a little bit of research on that.
I'd go, if you want to go to Pampered Chef one day, I'd go with you.
Do they sell food there? Or are you talking like?
No,
Just
it's like
stuff-
kitchen
kitchen.
equipment.
Bunch of like nice, like.
Want to know what I really go to
good
Pampered
dollar.
Chef? Speaking of that, my dad painted that mezzanine, if you're ever wondering. The little overhang
In Pampered Chef?
outside of it, the one that hangs out. Or is Gourmet Chef downtown?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, Gourmet
Yeah.
Chef is like the kitchen shop downtown. Yeah.
Pampered Chef.
Really
same
cool
thing.
store.
Pampered Chef's a brand, I think.
Yes.
Inside of Gourmet Chef.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, that maroon overhang that says Gourmet Chef, my
Yeah.
dad painted that.
Okay.
So yeah, it's kind of funny when I drive by. But back to what you're saying. Every year they have the tree lighting downtown Minot.
Mm-hmm.
You walk down all these stores, cookies for you. You get a coffee, you go to the bookstore, look at books you're not going to read. And then you go to Gourmet Chef. This is probably my favorite part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I love going in there. I'm like, look at this sick, cutting board. Shayna for Valentine's Day just got me a glass liquids measuring cup. Like kind of the big one where it's got like 3 cups down. Like, this is the best present I've gotten in years.
Yeah.
And probably cost $9. I'm a big fan of kitchen supplies.
Right. Yeah, my girlfriend got a set of mixing bowls.
Yep.
And there's it's a one cover thing, but it fits all the different
of them, yeah.
sizes. It's like removable. And then the center of it has a grater on it.
Oh, that's nice.
And those
Isn't
bowls are
Yeah.
sweet.
Get to a certain time in our life. Sure, we've got everybody off the podcast now, but you get to a certain time in your life when you get some gifts like that and you're like, let's go.
Shit that was done when you were a kid is now the coolest thing ever.
I'm like, don't buy me a grater. And now I'm like, dude, I can't believe I don't have a
A
grater.
cleaver. I want like a real cleaver, like a butcher's knife, like the big square ones. I've been looking at those for months.
What do you cleave though?
Dude, once you have a cleaver, possibilities are endless, man.
Cleave whatever you want.
Yeah, you could go to the jungle with that and start chopping like a machete.
Yeah.
You could hack off somebody's leg if they piss you off a little bit. I mean,
But it's like if you're in the kitchen, you need a big piece of meat if you're starting to cleave
it
something.
would have been good for this when I was cleaning the pork roast that I was doing. It would have been to trim that fat off. A knife like that would have been pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And
Wouldn't you rather use a fillet knife?
Fillet knife's like a long, skinny one, yeah?
Yeah, but like it's just so big. The roast was that I think a nice big knife would have done it.
Do you guys trim your steaks? If there's fat on the outsides?
Leave the fat on.
Depends what cut.
Because sometimes there's like a big, a ribeye has a big hunk of fat right
Leave
in
the
middle.
fat cap on.
You know what I mean?
That's the best part.
Leave the fat
I
cap
love that
on
fat
for sure.
cap.
See, I'm pro fat.
Yep.
Well, that's like
Clip that. But
that's a good fat though. That's the fat that like cooks with the steak. It flavors it a little. Like if it's really big, you can take off a little piece of it. You can mix it in with the next bite of just like only steak.
yeah.
Eat those at the same time. Like that stuff's tasty.
Yeah. But there's been sometimes, I trim off some of the, if you get a shittier steak and it's like,
Yeah, maybe
like
because
chewing
some
tar.
of it. Yeah, some of them will
Yeah.
be too chewy, but like a ribeye or something that's like a nice fat that like almost melts in your mouth.
Yeah.
Type stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
Boy, now
that
I'm
was
starving.
good.
yeah,
This
no
is-
shit.
This is bad.
Gosh,
I
what did we
am
just go through a half hour of meats and luck?
Yep.
I like it.
And then I guess we'll spend another half hour or so talking about the game.
another American tradition. We got grilling, and now we got
America's pastime, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
or as the Mexicans say, baseball.
Welcome.
Mexicans pastime.
They also say baseball. Really
Say
popular.
baseball.
Jugar al béisbol.
Yeah.
Is that I play baseball?
Yeah.
Hugar.
No.
Jugar is to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'd be
Hugo. Yo, Hugo.
Yo Hugo. Or I guess Hugo, if you say it like that, would already be I
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, I don't think they say yo.
No,
Yo
they
Hugo.
don't.
Yeah, they say Hugo Baseball.
No, because it would be like yo soy would be like I.
Yo soy
do
Pablo
something.
Chacon.
Yeah, or I am. Yeah, yo soy.
Yeah.
Or me llamo.
Yeah. Llama I always thought was llama. Spanish class.
Close.
Me llama. So I'd look at
Worse.
it. Worse. Getting further away from the meaning. Sorry, Broden baseball.
The game evolved from older bat and ball games already being played in England in the mid 1700s. The game was brought to the U.S. by immigrants in the late 19th century.
So the late 1800s.
Yep.
Have you seen, what's the movie where they talk about the origin of baseball?
Is it the one with Adam Sandler? Is that the one you're talking about? Where it's like a
And he's like,
A
the game
comedy
will be
take on
10
it.
on 10. He's like, we only got 18 guys. He's like, the game will be 9 versus 9.
I want to say that's
Is it like Ridiculous 6?
yes. It's like the spoof on
so.
Hateful Eight or whatever.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And then he's like, something about he hits the ball so far. And
He's like, I'm not gonna get that home run. You get to go all the way around.
yeah, you go all the way around the bases. That's a home run. Home run. Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
There's
Not
a
gonna
joke
go
on
get
like
that.
stealing second.
Yeah, he just runs over. He goes, I stole it. I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah.
He wasn't looking.
So, yeah, it's kind of a funny little skit. That's a good movie too.
But now it's most popular in obviously the United States, Central and South America, and particularly Japan.
I was gonna say Japan's a big one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Japan. It's crazy stat about the World Baseball Classic that was at the beginning of last year.
Yep.
I want to say the USA Japan game, it was on TV in like over 60% of Japanese households had the game on.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. They had TVs.
Yeah, a lot of them, big ones, better than ours even.
I suppose
That's what they're saying.
they made. Not me. That's what they're saying. I suppose they created them.
Majority of them.
Samsung is not American.
It's Korean, I think
Oh.
Samsung is. But like Toshiba, I mean, think of all
Toshiba,
the
yeah.
all the
Honda,
Asian brands for
Mitsubishi.
electronics. Even cars.
Have we talked about that on the show? The Scary Movie 3 scene?
Oh yeah,
Where
with the
she's
grudge.
like, she walks in and the little kid that's like a ghost walks in and he's talking to her. And then they have subtitles, like Japanese or Chinese subtitles, but they're not actually speaking Chinese. It's like Honda, Mitsubishi. And then she's like,
Teriyaki.
yeah, she's like, teriyaki. I don't even know all the Chinese
But it
words
says
are
what
leaving
they're
me.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you doing here? And it's like Honda, Mitsubishi, teriyaki. That's a funny scene. I like that. Scary Movies is a good franchise.
Yeah. They did good.
Who is that lady? She was married to Chris Pratt. Anna Faris?
Anna Faris. Yep.
Yeah.
Anna Faris is in a movie with Ryan Reynolds called, wow, gosh, it all takes place in a restaurant. A whole movie.
Waiting.
Waiting? Is that what it
I
is?
think of that. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
That was an interesting movie.
Yeah. It's a good one though.
Yeah. I like all Ryan Reynolds movies. Kind of stan.
Really good at what he does. You ever
Wonder-
seen? Never mind. Let's.
Wonder what I'd do if I met him. That's the only thing. Couldn't
Come.
control me if I met that guy.
Be out of my shoes.
Yeah. Oh, Nathan's got something.
What'd you say it was?
Waiting.
Waiting.
Just Friends.
No, Just Friends is Christmas movie. He's really young in this. Type in Ryan Reynolds Waiting.
I'm pretty sure the movie's called Waiting.
It's
Maybe
got
she's
weight.
not in there.
It's got weight in it.
Maybe it is Just Friends.
No, it's not Just Friends.
Either is Waiting, yeah.
It is
Waiting,
Waiting.
yeah.
Okay.
Just Friends is one of the best Christmas movies of all time.
Is that the one with Sandra Bullock?
No, it's The
that's
Proposal.
The Blind Side.
No. Ryan Reynolds and
No,
Sandra
that's Bird
Bullock.
Box.
I swear I'm hitting them, but they're
Bird
on the
Box.
complete wrong side of the room.
Yeah.
Dude. Ryan Reynolds and Sandra Bullock. What movie is that now? That's got to be.
The Proposal.
The Proposal, yeah.
Okay.
I said that.
Yeah, he said Proposal.
Like right after you said it.
Dude, turn your microphone on.
What is the one I said?
Bird Box.
Just Friends. The Blind Side.
No, the one we were talking about before that. When you're like, what's that movie with Ryan Reynolds? And, yeah, whatever. Over it. Baseball.
During the 1830s and 40s, organized amateur club baseball grew in eastern United States, especially New York City, became the basis for the modern game, far removed from its English version. These clubs formed a national governing body with uniform rules in 1858, and it was called the National Association of Baseball Players.
Let me ask you
It's a
this.
funny name to me.
So before baseball evolved into what it is now, when you said it came from early stick games, are you talking like cricket?
I think something like that. Because cricket's way more popular in like England and India and Australia than baseball is.
Yeah.
Why is cricket a thing? It's the
I don't
most
know.
whack sport I've ever seen.
It's
You ever
different.
see videos of like former minor league players go and play professional cricket, dude?
They hit the ball
And
800
they
yards.
destroy
Yeah.
everything. They're like the
Like
best.
insane.
baseball players play cricket and then are sick.
Yes.
Yeah, it's wild.
I don't get cricket. The field is
Everywhere.
size of a country.
It's a huge circle.
And it's
You hit it
everywhere.
wherever.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know how you score. Then you got to block it. I don't know. Also, another thing, what are we doing with rugby? What kind of sport is that? That is the dumbest sport ever.
It's
Rugby
cool
is
football.
It's made for men. Yeah.
But it's literally you get hammered, tackled, and then you don't lose possession. You just stand up and you pass the ball to the person
Yeah,
behind you.
it's professional smear the
Yeah.
what we used to play on the playground. I don't know if we could say it now.
But
But for the sanctity of
do you
history purposes, smear the queer.
have you watched any rugby? Do you know how do you change possessions? How do you get the ball
After
from
you
the other
score.
team?
I
Or
think if you fumble,
just if you get the ball. Yeah.
So
or
you
like
fumble?
as you're pitching it, somebody comes by and intercepts it because there's a lot of laterals in rugby,
That's all there is.
Yeah.
You can't do anything other than that.
and they
Those
use
guys are
sand.
psychotic.
They use sand for their tees when they kick instead of an actual tee. A
What, do they
guy
pull
brings
out
out
a
a
bag of
bucket.
sand?
Yes, a guy brings out a bucket of wet sand and they mold it for the ball to sit on. They kick it through the uprights.
What the hell are we doing? This is the 21st century, and we got a sand bucket guy.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But these are a man's man, dude. You see all those guys playing rugby
Yeah.
and they look like they could punch a tree down.
Yeah. Even
Yeah,
the little
but-
guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get. So there's not much fumbling at all. Like they just hold on to the ball until someone hammers them,
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
and then laterals they throw backwards. So it's incredibly hard to intercept.
Yeah.
How I don't get the possession changes, and then the score never changes. They somehow get past what I thought was an end zone, and the score stays the
They got
same.
to touch the ball on the ground for a touchdown.
That's what it is. You got to run in there and put the ball on the ground with your
Yes.
hand. What are they kicking it into the end zone for? I saw some guy just
Extra point,
boot it in.
PATs.
But this was they're running up the field. His teammates on the far side. He's just running, drop kicks it to the guy. He drops it and then turn around. Is that like a pass in the NFL? You can just kick it to a guy?
I think so.
No, I'm trying to read into it. There are so many little things to this, but you can't pass it with forward motion.
Yeah, well, you could kick it with forward motion, I think. You do something with kicking.
Dude, yeah, rugby's insane.
What's that old Irish game?
Golf.
Croquet,
Is,
where you hit the ball under the little loop that's in the grass.
No, not that.
Sounds French.
It's like the club that they
British?
use is like it's like got a
Polo?
oval head on it. No, that's like via horseback.
Field hockey?
Via
It might be.
horseback. That's the horseback.
It might be like field hockey. Like the ball looks like a baseball, but it's got like huge raised seams on it. It's like very dominant, I'm pretty sure, in like Ireland.
That is croquet.
Are you
Bocce?
sure?
Is it like putting?
No.
Or do they roll it?
It's the ball rolls around the ground, yeah.
But
And
what do
hit
they
it.
do with the stick?
They hit the
Polo?
ball.
Oh,
Polo
Look up field hockey. Look up Ireland field hockey. See what
field
comes
hockey
up.
is with a candy cane like stick.
yeah.
The sticks they use are like a candy cane, and they're wooden.
Yeah.
Hurling.
And I'm sure, huh?
Hurling.
Hurling, that's what it is.
I believe.
Can you show me a picture of the shit?
That's what you do, Liam. I got some
Sometimes.
feedback on the episode. They're like, "Man, Liam's kind of a puker."
On occasion, yeah, it's
Like-
not too often,
And
but
hurls.
it
Yeah,
will
he's a hurler.
it will get me.
Yeah. There's no way I've never even heard of this sport.
You haven't?
Hurling?
That's it, dude.
What is that?
Yeah, that's wild.
That's insane. That looks like it could get gruesome.
Yeah.
Hurling?
Lacrosse is a wild sport too.
Yeah.
Hurling.
I thought I've heard of every sport until that photo was shown to me.
Yeah. That's it's very dominant in the not here.
Do you know what croquet is?
Yeah, so you're playing pool but in a big field.
Well, it's like you got a big sledgehammer,
Yeah.
and then you have to hit the ball.
It's great for people above the ages of 80.
Yeah, because they have the wardrobe already.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't have to move.
Yeah, it's fair.
1871 marks the year of the first professional league, the National Association of Professional Baseball Players, which is just a thing from the earlier one. but they made the National League, and then 5 years later came the American League. The first World Series between the champions of the two leagues was held in what year? It is 1900. It's after.
Oh, really? 1906.
1923.
1903.
God, I knew it was in the O's. I knew it was early. Because they just had, they had like I saw the 2003. Didn't they have like a 100-year anniversary somewhere or another? Yeah.
Yeah, and then in 1905 it became an annual event. So they didn't have one in 1904.
I didn't realize how long ago baseball started. You think basketball was started before it though, right?
I don't know. I don't know much about basketball at all anymore. Yeah. But
yeah, that's a lot. That's really old. Was it not strictly white guys?
when was baseball?
Yeah. When was Jack
1947.
1947.
Yeah. I have something real quick and then we're going to talk about that.
Okay.
So baseball in the early 20th century was characterized by low-scoring games, but the dead ball era ended in the early 1920s with rule changes and then the rise of the power hitter, Mr. Babe Ruth.
What is the dead ball era?
That's when I believe if you hit the ball in the air and you caught it off of one bounce, it was an out still.
Really?
Yeah.
That's whack. They were not hitting line drives.
No.
Imagine hitting a line drive to the center field and he just one hops to the guy.
Yeah. But and then Babe Ruth came around and said, why don't we just hit it over the fence, dude? If they can't get it, I get to go all the way.
Start hitting bombs.
Yeah.
I think Babe Ruth was a fraud.
No way someone could be so dominant while also drinking 14 beers in the dugout.
I don't think he was that dominant. I think he was just like a good player and everybody else were, accountants.
Yeah. 43-year-old
like-
alcoholics.
But you have to respect how good he was compared to everybody else that played at the time.
Yeah, I suppose. But it's like none of those guys back then were freak specimens like today.
No, dude, they were
I don't
smoking
think-
cigars and drinking scotch on the rocks in the dugout.
I don't think working out was a thing until like 1985.
Probably not.
Organized weights.
Organized weights. Yeah.
No, definitely not.
Because like,
People would go to the draft and they would just have them just run through tires and say, oh, pretty good.
do you think
Here's your M16.
MLB players in 1917 had six packs?
God,
no.
no, just beer.
Not a chance.
Like what athletes back then, when did six packs on athletes begin?
Probably the 1930s,
And in what sport?
40s.
I would say football would be like the first guys that were getting like really jacked from
Yeah.
lifting stuff.
Push-ups.
Because, I mean, you could still be fat as shit and be really good at baseball.
Still can be, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at like Prince Fielder. That dude was so fat.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know. Too fat. Too big.
Too big.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know when athletes of any sport started looking like athletes.
Had to have been after World War II, I think.
Yeah.
Because the first war happened, they were like, sports are kind of cool again. Then it wasn't that long. And then they were like,
And what was the catalyst? What made people think I'm going to start doing pull-ups?
I think people started wanting to get better. Because then more people started watching it. There's more money to be made.
You think it started as talent? Like I'm just really talented at this, so I'm here.
Yeah.
And then eventually people are like, I can get there just by doing this stuff.
Right.
a
Yeah.
little
If
bit
I
more.
train
Yeah.
and I'm bigger and stronger than this
If I
guy.
keep throwing
I'm-
this rock at the wall every day,
Right.
I can play with them.
Bartolo Colon.
What do you got, Nathan?
Earliest I can find is, like working out in general. Earliest records were about 2000 BC.
The
for
Greeks, dude.
Egyptians.
That's pretty
Had
early.
to, the Greeks doing the Olympics. I bet they were training
I
hardcore.
suppose.
Yeah.
Those guys were freaks, the Spartans and stuff.
How did we?
Those guys, there's the Scottish.
That's interesting.
The Scottish
Yeah.
games.
The Vikings.
They're going to see how far can I throw this log that weighs 700 pounds.
But I
Hasn't it
feel
been
like
going on forever too?
yeah, that's still a big thing.
The Highland
Highland
games.
Yeah.
so. The Vikings were probably ripped, like you said, big biceps. But I wonder if it's not like they were actively like, I'm gonna train to be like this. It had to be from, I'm lifting heavy shit.
Yeah.
And
It's
my
just what
life
they were
is
exposed
manual
to, yeah.
labor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had squeezed enough people's heads between their hands
Yeah.
that they finally just got better at it.
But at what point did someone actively say, like, I'm going to go out of my way instead of, sitting here reading a book? I'm going to go pick this thing up repeatedly. That's heavy.
Right.
Best I got for that is like the start of Gold's Gym. And I lost
Gold's
it.
Gym? Isn't that on
Arnold.
Isn't that on Dodgeball?
Goldman's.
Global Gym.
Gym.
Yeah,
That's
Global
what it
Gym.
I would say it would have to be like Highland Games, stuff like that, where people are like training like back then.
Mhm.
Where like this time next year, I'm going to try to throw this log even farther. So all year, I'm going to continue to throw this.
When
giant
did
log.
Highland Games start, I wonder?
Long time ago, man.
In the Highland Games for Scottish people?
Yeah, they throw those telephone poles. You ever see those dudes in kilts throwing telephone poles? That's
They do
literally
like-
what it
They
is.
do
Makes
like
it
a
even
cake
better.
toss like over a bar.
Mm-hmm.
And
Have
the-
you guys seen the Slap Wars? Where it's two guys and they run and they just...
Yeah, super,
whack each other and
That's like a
jump up
Middle
and-
East thing or something going on. It's like it's always like
they got
some
not
kind
much
of
else
like
to do.
it's always like I always see those people doing it.
Yeah.
2000 BC.
2000
Is when those
BC.
started.
The Highland Games.
Yep. And then
Cool.
in the middle of the 1800s in Europe is when like strength and training clubs like started to come out.
Like a
Where
gym
people
you could
would,
go to.
socially go.
The
and
middle
work
of
out.
what? The 1800s? So like
Middle
1750s?
part.
Abraham Lincoln,
Abe Lincoln.
1800s
You a big
or the
weightlifter?
18th century.
1800s.
So it would have been the middle 1800s was when Abe Lincoln was president.
Is that something that he mandated?
I wish I had I could see it in my head, like the whole timeline of everything that's ever happened. And like I could, how you pinch to zoom on a MacBook?
Mm-hmm.
I could pinch to zoom on the timeline. And then it's like, okay, what you're talking about right now in your head is Highland Games. And then they populate a couple things around it, So to the right, it's like the Homestead Act. To the left, it's, I don't know.
Throwing
Something
spears.
else.
At,
I don't
Yeah.
like how you said to the right and then put your left hand up. And
I was
then
doing
said
it for
to
you guys. It's like
Okay.
in basketball when it's like 23. To me it's 32, but the scoring booth has to know.
Right.
Yeah, for the people, by the people.
hey, respect that.
Yeah.
We the people. Growing up, what was your guys' favorite teams or players that you liked watching?
Definitely Twins fan. Whole life, always have been. You're a Cubs fan? For Rizzles?
I don't watch sports.
Yeah, I was gonna say this.
This is going to be tough for him to answer.
Favorite
but
player? I don't know if I had a favorite player. I mean, I like Joe Mauer, but then I got to a certain age after Joe Mauer was dominant, and he just pissed me off more than any player on earth.
Right, he sucked.
Yeah,
But
I'm
Hall
like,
of Fame, first ballot, baby.
Yeah, it pissed me off.
So
more
cool.
than anything. I don't know if I had a favorite baseball player growing up. I think baseball is one of those sports that the players revolve too much. There's too much churn.
Like one dude who's insane for 2 years is out of the league
Yeah.
a year after that.
Like I have a Miguel Sano jersey. He's
Yeah.
going to be a flash in the pan when I'm looking back on it in 10 years. Oh,
Yeah.
Miguel Sano.
Hit-
Right now, I remember when he hit missiles 500 feet into center field at Target Field. But 10 years from now, I'll be like, oh, Miguel Sano, what did he play? A year or two?
he's on the Angels now. He's
yeah, and he
still
lost 60 pounds.
playing. I know, he's jacked.
Yeah.
But-
But yeah, baseball's hard because there's so many players. I know it's always funny. We have that baseball group chat and we always text in there and just say random names. Like, oh, remember Carl Pavano?
Right. Yeah.
And
just
someone will rip in, oh
random-
yeah, Nick Punto. And it's like,
Right.
where are these guys coming from?
very overlooked players from days gone by. What-
Yeah.
So you never really
Familiar with
watched-
those two?
I couldn't tell you whatsoever.
So you're a Cubs fan because your dad's a Cubs fan, yeah?
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my dad, he was more Cubs. We went to a couple just one White Sox game a long time ago at Wrigley Field, but just being in the Chicago area, that's why. So that's pretty much the only reason.
So it's Chicago Cubs versus the White Sox.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. A little Chicago action.
Those games.
Did your
gotta get
dad
violent.
just explode out of his body with joy when the Cubs won it after 102 years?
I don't know.
108.
Maybe
108 years. When was that? 10 years ago?
2016 they won it. They hadn't won
8
it
years
since
ago.
1908.
You should ask him. Be curious his reaction if he's a true Cubs fan or if he's like, oh, that was cool.
He was probably the latter. Oh, that was cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I mean, growing up, like he always, if the game was on, he always had the game on, but I was like doing homework and stuff. So like I never really sat down and just watched.
You don't really sit down and watch unless it's playoffs.
I do.
I suppose the summertime I do sometimes, but I never sit down and dedicate like 162 games, man.
Dude, if there's a game
Times
on
3 hours
while I'm at work, it's on my phone and I'm actively paying attention to it.
See, I throw it on in the background or on my phone, but I'm doing other stuff while I'm doing that. Unless it's like a night game. Sometimes the night games, if they're at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I'll put it on and watch it.
Right.
If it's a 1 o'clock matinee game and they got 112 more of those.
Yeah. I don't know. I can see how people think it's boring because a lot of people don't watch baseball because it's slow. But I think it's like so intense to sit there and like, if you understand what's going on, you can appreciate a lot more about it. It's one of those things.
Yeah.
But
it is long. I understand why I have an uncle that never wanted to go watch me play baseball because it's like it's the slowest goddamn sport ever. Can't watch it. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. I understand your point.
Mm-hmm.
Disagree. It's better playing it, but
way better playing.
I flipped a coworker of mine after last year's playoffs when the Twins finally won a game. I was watching at work and he just kept asking me questions the whole time we were watching it. And now he's like, loves baseball. He watches it all the time.
Yeah.
Hated it. Hadn't watched it in like 20 years, he said. But
it's fun when you get into it. Nothing better than being at the baseball field, having a nice cold beer.
Yeah.
Nice ballpark dog.
Yeah, you got a hot dog because it's just
Awesome.
what you do.
It's just the ambiance.
You're eating ice cream out of a little tiny hat.
Dude,
There's just something about it. Big thing of nachos.
The atmosphere of a big league ballpark is like none other, like no other professional sport.
And I wonder if it's because it's so relaxed. Like it's not, if you're watching a baseball game, it's not intense enough.
Like go.
It's not intense enough where you have to be watching the play the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I could sit there, I could watch the pitch and I'm like, oh, I was outside.
And then
I got
somebody hits
15 seconds to breathe.
Right. And then somebody hits a dinger, you go crazy for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And
there's a lot of breaks, every inning you got 10 minutes to, walk up, go get your dog, go get another beer.
Right. I mean,
maybe that's what it is.
Baseball, we owe everything to, because without it,
Everything.
this podcast,
The whole world.
this podcast wouldn't be a thing if it weren't for baseball.
Yeah. You guys owe everything to baseball if you ever want to listen to the show again.
Yeah. Because it was baseball that made us friends. It was baseball that made these friends talk about a podcast. And now we're doing it.
And now we're episode 80. We're doing
finally
a podcast.
paying
on
some
baseball.
homage to the game.
Yeah.
Doing an episode
homage.
on baseball.
Yeah, which is good. But there is nothing better than being at the ballpark. It's hot out,
Right.
which is good. I went to a baseball game one time and it was like, I want to say 34 degrees at Twin Stadium. They lost 10-7 to the Mets. Watch Mauer hit a home run though. And I was wearing like one of those German hats, the things, you've seen those giant German fluffy hats. Like the commanders in the military would wear them. I'll show you a picture after this.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was wearing one of those,
Awesome.
a full blown like winter jacket, snow pants, boots, because it was that cold. And I'm like, you know what? This isn't what baseball is supposed to be. It's horrible. Yeah.
Was it when Bert was still doing the things you could have got circled?
I didn't meet him. I walked past Bert and Dick Bramer, Bert Blavin and Dick Bramer, because we were in the skybox, the Delta Sky Club skybox at Target Field.
Yeah.
So you have to go up an escalator and you're like in this mezzanine where a bunch of the media people walk because they have to walk that way to get to the broadcasting booth.
Right.
And they walked by me and I was like, Bert
So
Blavin. Cool.
Hall of
I was
Famer.
like 15 years old. Yeah. It's really cool.
Jason Kubel almost hit a foul ball to me. So
Really?
close. Yeah. Like 5
Almost?
feet from me.
Yeah. The media's asking like, yeah, I was trying to get that one to Broden, but it just wasn't quite accurate enough.
Yeah. He tried though, so I respect him for it.
Yeah. Jason Kubel also hit a ball into the Metrodome ceiling.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Remember his grand slam for the cycle?
Yeah, that was sick too.
Oh man. Going
Jason
crazy.
Kubel. Like that's another name. It's like Jason Kubel.
Who is this guy?
Yeah.
It's from
I'm
South
going to be
Dakota.
talking about Jason Kubel in 15 years.
No.
I sure hope.
Lost me already. Couldn't tell.
When you guys played, like what was your favorite aspect about playing baseball when we were all in high school.
Fucking with my teammates.
The camaraderie, dude. The camaraderie was just peak. And because that's the best part about the sport is that like you're tucked in the dugout. You got, I don't know, whatever we had, like 15, 16 guys on our team.
Right.
You get your starting 9, like it's just you and all your buddies going out to play ball like every weekend. And it's just like just doing stuff like that. And then like you go shove it to some team. Like whenever we played against, I can't remember who, some like no-name team. They had never seen a curveball when I was thrown against them. I probably threw them 79 curveballs.
Yeah.
And I think I had,
so literally the movie Trouble with the Curve.
yeah, I think I had 13 strikeouts that game.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's just fun. It's just like shoveling it to these kids.
It's good. Just,
So you'd say like the
whacking them.
clubhouse
I like
aspect
it.
of it.
yeah, that, I mean,
Sunflower
like
seeds.
competition, like, especially because like I'd pitch a lot and then just like getting a ground ball and seeing somebody like make a play. I'm like, that's my team right there.
I try.
Get me
the,
hyped.
the part I didn't like is when any time a ground ball would be hit, because there's
Do you?
a 25% chance it's coming to me.
Yeah, that too.
So it's oh god. But yeah, the hitting was probably more fun for me.
I was gonna say
Feeling-
I never hit any home runs, but what was the feeling of hitting a home run?
Oh,
I mean,
Tuh,
Liam
great.
has a pretty good home run story.
Yeah. somehow managed to hit back-to-back grand slams in the same game. And
The Royce Lewis of Mana Vistas baseball.
dude, I couldn't believe it. Like the coolest part about that story is that like
You had a corked bat.
the best part was that night before I was in my garage with a
Ketamine.
drill. Yeah.
Putting racquetballs in my bat.
Yeah.
God, that's funny.
No, I'd went and I was on like the worst hitting streak of my life. Like I think I was like 2 and 20 something, like maybe 30. I don't even know. Like halfway through the season. And it's like I spent the whole off season like training, like getting built up, like getting strong. Like I was never like a terrible hitter. Like I could hit.
Yeah.
I pulled everything. But I'd like after practice the night before the game, I'd talk to Pat and I was like right as he was about to leave, I went up to his truck. I said, Pat, dude, like I know I can hit better than this. Like if you can find a spot for me in tomorrow's lineup, like I'd like at least just another shot to at least try and do something.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, I'll see what I can do. Like gives me the nod. I'm in the lineup. I think I was pitching that game too. We were playing first. And
he's like Shohei. Pitching and hitting.
I think I was playing first. Because didn't somebody ask you after hitting, how many home runs does your first baseman have this year? You're like, that was his third hit of the season.
I'm like, you just watched both hits he's recorded this year.
Yeah. But it was like you blank for a second. Like all you know is that you just catch the ball so clean and you just crushed it.
Yeah.
And then
it almost
you
feels
just
like you don't
wait.
hit it. You just swing and nothing hits your bat.
And you just know just like off launching or you're like, all right, that's pieced. And then you're running like I was rounding first base and I saw it land over the fence and I go, you're shitting me, dude.
So that was after the first one.
That was after the first one.
What about the second one?
Second one?
Well, now he's feeling himself.
Second
He's
one,
strutting
same
up to
thing.
the plate.
Yeah, I was like,
He's pimp walking.
Yeah, I was like, do it again.
Yeah, I'm like, stop dragging your bat behind you, Liam. You're like, yeah, this is pimp the one, man.
My bad, dude. Yeah, second one, same thing. Second one I hit farther because it went to the left side of the scoreboard.
Yeah.
And then I pieced that one and I rounded first base and I was like,
Laughing.
there's no way. Yeah, basically laughing. I was like, there's no shot.
I tell you what,
just
I
did
was
that.
laughing. I know that for sure.
I think
What the
everyone
hell?
was. Well, because I think Creighton on that video on YouTube, I've probably watched it 400 times. It's on YouTube if anyone wants to watch it.
Yeah,
Look me
it's
up.
got 412 views.
Liam Owens Grand Slam. But that's what I come around third and the camera pans over and like he catches Creighton like taking off his catcher's gear and he goes, hey Pat, and like gives him a double finger gun, like because I think he had told Pat before that, he goes, I bet he does it again or something like that.
That's awesome.
One of my favorite memories of Pat was when we were in Wyoming playing, and one of the guys that we played with that didn't really get to play that much got a couple at bats, and he went 1 for 1 or something like that, and he's like, oh shit, now he's gonna want to play.
Yeah. 1 for 1. He's like, ah, shit. Pat was probably one of my favorite coaches.
Pat was easily the most knowledgeable coach I've had about the sport that I played.
And the funny thing is that he was the most serious person, like one of those guys where you don't really want to be a dick to him,
right?
but the number one guy that I would fuck with. And he would fuck right back. So yeah, it's pretty funny.
Well-
I remember laying in the vans one time and I got pissed because you guys were talking about The Office. Someone was talking about The Office for way too long. And I was like, can you guys shut the hell up about The Office? I was so pissed off. And immediately Pat just snaps back at me. He's like, well, you just lay there and shut the hell up? I was like, all right. Yep. You got me.
Sorry.
That was,
You're like, honestly, yeah, I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
dude, I remember the most awkward van ride was in Fargo when you were supposed to pitch.
Oh,
You were
dude,
late
don't
to the
say
bus.
this. No.
No courtesy walk.
No courtesy jog. Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
and-
him. Yeah.
It just it's just quiet in there. He's already pissed because he's big about being punctual, being on time.
Which you should be.
And you're supposed to pitch, and he just goes, "Liam, you're not pitching." You go, "Yep," just quiet for like 10 minutes, and then he just looks over at Creighton and goes, "How's your arm feel? You're pitching." That's all that was said.
Yeah.
Literally the only things that were said in the car.
That was
Liam,
it.
you're not pitching. Yep.
Yep.
Yep, I figured that. That's why I walked in the van.
Oh man.
Yeah, those are good times, man.
That was not a good time for me. I wish I was 4 years more mature than when I had met Pat, and I wish Pat was our coach 4 years prior to us being our coach.
Yeah,
Because we all would have been, at least me, way better off. Because in the year span that Pat was my coach, I learned so much.
Right.
He taught me how to pick off.
Dude, you picked off so many kids after
So
that.
many kids. I would just dummy
He was
kids.
John Lester before that.
Right.
It was insane. Yeah, it was
Couldn't
not
throw over to
good.
first. Yeah.
You'd have people diving back to the bag as you're delivering the
Throwing
ball
to
home.
first.
Yeah.
I always try to, I say that summer, our last summer playing Vis's baseball, and you weren't on the team, Liam.
Yeah.
But I'd say probably one of the most fun years I've ever had.
For sure.
Like so fun that we had room 227, which we called it. Everyone, there's like 3 people to room. I think we slept like 5 or 6 people in that room.
Yeah, Shimke left his roommate to sleep on our floor.
Yeah,
Remember?
just because he wanted to be
With us.
yeah, around the atmosphere. Yeah, that was fun because there was really no rules. Pat just wanted, he's like, don't get in trouble. Don't do anything stupid.
Yeah.
There's
You know?
never a curfew.
Yeah, just, be human beings. That's what he'd
Yeah.
say.
Was it?
He was coming off of still coaching college, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that whole mentality and mindset is all the same. You
Yeah.
guys are gonna be going to college next year. Figure it out.
Figure
If you're
it
not
out.
gonna figure it out
Yeah.
now, you're not gonna figure it out.
Right.
And
Dude,
if you don't, then you just won't play.
it
which
felt
is-
like we were almost like a professional team, like the way
Yeah.
it was treated and handled and
Yeah.
stuff. It was awesome, man.
They probably didn't play Minecraft at the rate we did. the
No, they
professional
definitely
teams.
I'm sure not.
They definitely didn't
Yeah.
Pokemon Go as much as we did.
No.
The amount of Chell tournaments we played,
Yeah.
Right.
Amount of water towers climbed.
all time high.
the amount of disco sticks rubbed.
Yeah, dude, that was a fun summer for sure.
Do you guys remember when we had a trip to Jamestown, Grand Forks, and Fargo? And then
Team
two
No
of the
Sleep.
games. Yeah, 2 of the games. No, that one too. But 2 of the games got rained out, so we got stuck in Jamestown for 4 days.
Yeah.
That
with
was
nothing to do. I can't remember if that was your year.
I don't
or
think
not.
so.
Hmm.
I want to say it was our last year.
Yeah.
'Cause last year was weird because Connor was on the team because he came back from college.
Right.
So it's this old grandfather and then the rest of us. But yeah, we got rained out. So we had to wait. We weren't going to drive back to Minot. So it's I guess we're just living
Right.
in Jamestown for the week. And it was mayhem for sure.
Dude.
It was awesome.
Yeah, 3 days with
Yeah.
nothing to do as a 17-year-old kid in a town that you don't live in.
Yeah. It's good times. Shout out, Pat. I think you might listen to the show.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the show and thanks for coaching us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ideally,
Putting
we
up
owe
with
it
our-
all to Pat.
Putting up with our dumbasses.
We
Yeah.
owe it all to Pat for making
Yeah. And
us
our
play
audience
baseball.
owes it all to Pat too. Also,
Yeah.
shout out, Pat. Just had another kid. Congratulations,
Oh,
Pat.
he did, didn't
Nice.
Yep.
Congrats, buddy.
Yep. Hopefully the baby and the wife are healthy.
he? Great job, Pat.
Yeah. Congrats on.
If you guys could give one piece of advice to a young kid wanting to play baseball, what would you say it would be?
Oh, that's a good question. Practical, hitting advice or fielding advice, something like that.
I'd say to take it seriously. Because the camaraderie part's fun, to an extent, but losing's not. There's no camaraderie.
Losing sucks.
There's no camaraderie in losing.
Yeah.
You can have as much fun with your buddies the entire time that you're playing, while you're also striving to be better. And it's now none of us play anymore, and these are all of some of fondest memories.
Right.
Milk it, dude. keep playing, like keep having fun, keep playing,
Keep
like,
getting better.
take it seriously. Yeah, like if you're a multi-sport athlete, like cool, but train a little in the off season, like do stuff.
Yeah, I'd say pick a good walk-up song.
That too. I listen to songs now where I'm like, damn, this
That should have been
Sick
my walk-up song. I do
yeah.
it all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I was ever on a losing sports team. Like every team I was generally played for, all my sports, we were like not one of the teams where it's like, God, this sucks going. We lose every game, you know?
Yeah.
Like hockey, our team was, you know,
You won
usually
state.
best in the West. Not best in the West, but top. We're always competing. Baseball, all of our baseball teams were always pretty good. It's never like we could compete with the Bismarck. We could compete with Fargo's. So it's like, I don't know if I was ever, were you guys ever on a team that like lost a lot? I suppose you played baseball, tennis. Were you guys good at tennis?
Yeah,
I never played tennis.
dude,
Don't
tennis.
let me in with that guy. You shouldn't. No
I
thanks.
was like, well, I didn't play tennis.
Liam came onto our tennis bus before we left one time. Not even a player or nothing. Just came on and gave us a pregame speech before we left.
Gave the
And
hype
a rack
speech.
of Jimmy John subs.
Oh,
I forgot about those.
Yeah.
Wow, what a time that was.
thank you,
dude.
Hunter.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Hunter.
Shout out Hunter Dudenheffer.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, that's another thing.
Wow.
Try to see if you can play with some characters like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Get a Johnny Tubbs on your team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Johnny Tubbs is one of the most interesting men boys at the time. He was one of the most interesting people I've ever met. You would touch the guy and he would wipe it off. I've never seen anyone wipe.
Yeah, he didn't want to get anybody else's
Yeah.
sucky on him.
Yeah,
That's what
you'd touch his arm, and be like, "Hey, man, good hit." And he's like, "Ah, thanks." The second you walk away, he'd wipe off his arm like he's wiping off. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And I noticed it. He never told me until I brought it up one day. But one day I noticed it. He just wiped that off. So it was my goal every day. I'd touch him, and I'd kind of like peek out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, he's still wiping it off.
Yeah.
So then I'd purposely go out of my way to bother him. You know,
Just
touch
a
him more than I should.
lunatic of a guy,
It's insane.
but was freakishly talented.
Absolute freak athlete, dude.
Throwing mid-90s, whatever he was.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah,
strong.
I caught from one time. I think I broke my thumb. State baseball. And we were at the Red Hawks Stadium. And I was like, God damn, every time he throws a fastball, I hate calling it. So I catch it clean, but if you don't catch it clean, it barely clips your thumb and just automatically rips back. I'm like, okay.
Were you
that's okay
so
with that.
happy when Creighton kind of became our everyday guy behind the plate?
Oh, yeah, it was awesome.
Thank God.
Great. Yeah. No more blocking balls. No more putting on gear. Putting on gear sucks, man. No more squatting.
I remember
That was my
Noah,
favorite part when I would bullpen catch.
right?
Squatting?
Just getting back there, dude. Getting back
It
there with
is
my first
fun
base glove.
snapping it, like catching. I did like that part, but
Everything else sucked.
yeah, the rest of it kind of sucks. Stand in the batter's box with shin guards on, so ghetto. You know what I mean? Like try looking cool.
I
doing
remember Noah always doing the catcher drills with you and Creighton, and then maybe never ever catching a game.
that. That's
but,
crazy. I think he caught 1 or 2 games. He did all the catching drills.
Right. Yeah. And then those always looked like it sucked, especially the year that one of
Oh,
our
they did.
assistant coaches was a college catcher.
Moo.
Yeah. Moo. That's his name. He owes you a book.
Yeah, he does. Moo's a fraud. No way Moo wrote a book. I wrote a book on the art of catching. And I'm like, yeah, send me
Where's
a
it at?
copy. I haven't seen it. So
Exactly.
not sure if I buy it. Yeah, we would do these drills where he was ambidextrous somehow. So he'd whipping balls left and right. It looked like the villain on Spider-Man with the things coming out
Doc
of his back. Yeah, it looked like that, but he's throwing baseballs at you. And it's like you got to catch him and drop him and catch him and drop him. And it was not fun. And then there was one drill where we'd line up, all 3 of us in a row, me, Rudy, and Noah. And we'd be squatting, and he'd be no more than 12 feet away from you, throwing them hard as hell at you. You have no idea who it's coming to. So we're all sitting there waiting, just shaking. We're like, oh, fuck, don't throw it at me.
More like torture than practice.
Yeah. Boom, 70 miles an hour to the left shoulder. I'm like, God damn, that hurt. Next one. Noah's cage. I'm like, God, this is horrible.
You just turn and there's a ball stuck in his face mask. And he's just
I'm all right.
Yeah, so I'm like, God, is this for fun for him or is he making us better catchers? I don't know. But
I'd say, admit, you guys stole a lot of strikes.
I think so. I think the funniest story I have of Moo is, by the way, his nickname's Moo. His real name's his last name
Connor.
is Moten. But the funny story, we're at tryouts at Bishop Ryan, the football field,
Oh,
and
yeah.
we're doing this catching drill or whatever. And I must have been competing and I lost. So I took a ball and I was like, damn it. And I just chucked it 50 yards He's like, go get that. We don't do that shit. And I'm like, all right. Ever since then, it kind of set a tone of like, okay, we're not just going to throw random shit into the abyss. So yeah. But yeah, that was the first time I met Moo. 18 seconds later, he's like, yeah, we're not putting up with that. Good time.
What was the first time you ever met Moo, Liam?
Come on, dude. Flipped him off.
Flipped him off in the Dairy Queen drive.
Flipped him off in the Dairy Queen drive-thru because we were sitting there. It was me, you, and Noah.
And Connor, I think.
Connor, yeah. And
The Sandhaven crew.
Noah.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Melby was in there. Wasn't he in the mix for Sandhaven?
No, it was the four of us, man.
I got a story about Noah Melby.
But so, yeah, we were sitting in the Dairy Queen drive-thru. We had just got our ice cream. I don't know what we had, whatever. But Noah turns and like waves out the window at somebody. And so I'm like, okay, must be friends with us, common age folk. And so I look out the window and I think it's like a buddy of ours. And so I just give him the bird.
Yeah.
And it's all fun and games. And then Noah looks at me and goes, you just flipped off our new head coach for this summer. And I said, that's awesome.
Nice.
That's
Set the tone.
That's so good for me.
That's one of my favorite stories. Noah Melby story I got during the high school baseball season, any bus ride. He would walk past the underclassmen every time after we're leaving a game or something. Everyone just got on the bus after going to the gas station. He'd be like, oh my gosh, I've never tried those before. Can I try one?
Pop-Tart.
Yeah. So he's got like Skittles, Mike and Ike's, just a handful of candy from the underclassmen of quote unquote candy he's never tried before. And it would work every single baseball trip.
My favorite, Johnny, we're in the little like Suburban. Remember when the Suburban was a thing for high school baseball? Johnny was on there and he's like kind of a big germaphobe. And that's part of the reason why I think he wipes it off. Melby started laughing so hard that he blew a snot rocket. And so for like 20 minutes of a drive, he just held a snot rocket like over Johnny, like a string of snot was just like toying with him.
God, that's terrible.
That explains Johnny so well and Melby so well. Get them in.
I had Johnny petrified because like right when he first moved up here, somebody like word he got around. Yeah, there's this new kid. He's from like Texas. He throws gas. Like he's gonna be like he's really good.
Yeah.
And
He's
I had like someone was like a mutual friend, and I told that person, I said, you told Johnny that first day of practice I'm gonna kick his ass. And he was so worried the entire time that I was gonna like come up and just start wailing on him for no reason at all. And then we finally like it was a few practices later. I was like, what's going on, man? You're Johnny? Shook his hand. Like,
the worst part is that Johnny Tubbs knew my address, I think, was probably my worst part. Because he would just show up at my door.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't even ask, hey, do you want to play catch? It's pretty much like, get your ass outside. We're going to play catch.
Yep. It's training time.
Yeah, you throw it hard as hell in my glove.
Show up.
Yeah.
Think you're sleeping? Let's go. Get the gear on.
So then we just go play catch. And it was one of those where you can never end it. It's like, is he ever going to want to stop playing catch? And then finally an hour and a half later.
That's why he threw 95.
I think I'm going to go home. And I'm like,
cool.
God, we've been standing 15 feet away from each other for the last hour and a half. One time he came over, said he bought a new glove, had to break his glove in. I'm like, this is going to be a long catch session. It's going to be really long. And it was.
I don't know how he made it all the way to your house because I'm pretty sure he lived
right by my house.
No.
One block ahead. He did.
Oh, did he?
For a little bit, yeah.
Oh. I was going to say, I remember him living way out past the fairgrounds.
Yeah, because we picked them up.
Yeah.
Bands one time.
What do you guys think the amount of money ever... Let me rephrase this here. This was bad.
Stay hot, kid.
The most expensive baseball card ever sold. How much do you think it is?
67 million.
66 million.
Oh, God, I'm going to give you re-guesses. Those are bad. Lower.
6.8 million.
8 million.
12.6. Mickey Mantle... 1952 Mickey Mantle card actually just sold last year.
Rookie card. I remember seeing that. Wouldn't it be funny if they didn't sell rookie cards? It's like his third-year card.
Right.
His Mickey Mantle third-year card. Yeah.
His ninth
the 88,
year, yeah.
89 season or whatever it is.
So according to ESPN, these are the top 10 players to ever play. We'll start with number 10. Stan Musial, then Walter Johnson, Barry Bonds, Mickey Mantle, Lou Gehrig, Ted Williams, Ty Cobb, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, and then who do you think number one is?
Shohei Ohtani. It should be. If
should
Shohei's,
be. It should be.
How old is that list?
It's players still playing today till now. or still playing today all the way till the game first started. Don't look at
Mike
my
Trout,
note.
Babe
No.
Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
Well,
Is it Babe Ruth?
Yeah.
There's not one everyday player on there, like a modern day.
Not
player.
in. I think Mike Trout
Article
was
was
the
pulled in
highest, and he was
2016.
number 15. Yeah.
That's insane. That article was pulled in 8 years ago.
By the time Shohei's career is over, he'll go down as the best baseball player to ever live. He
You
should,
think so, if he keeps this up.
if he stays healthy too. I mean, but
Yeah,
yeah, he pitches and hits. That's insane.
Highest paid now, isn't he?
$700 million over 10 years.
70 million a year.
It's pretty
It's
good.
not bad.
It's pretty good.
Not bad.
I'd play baseball for that money.
Would you play?
I'm good, actually.
You have to convince me.
Would you play professional baseball for like 45 grand a year?
I'd pay 45 grand a year to play it.
Yeah.
Begging you.
Yeah, I'll give the MLB 45 grand if I get to play
Why not? Yeah.
for 1 year at least.
You're telling me for a year, my day-to-day schedule is to train and then go home and recover. Tomorrow, train some more.
It's my day-to-day schedule anyways.
Yeah,
I just don't get paid to do it.
exactly.
Yeah, it's like, why is he throwing baseballs at the garage door? It's like, he's training.
Training every day.
There.
He's got hope. I'll give him that.
Get drafted one day. Mark my words. I always say during the NHL draft every year, I'm like, wonder if it's my year.
Gonna get the call.
They might. He's sitting there with the phone on the
25.
ottoman.
Waiting, just sitting on the coffee table.
You're like 33.
Yeah, I invite my family over every time. Got food, snack.
Why aren't you guys coming over? This could be my year.
This is it. Worked really hard this offseason.
Let's do a little stat leader quiz, and then maybe we could probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
But this is all time throughout career. So games played. Who has the most games played?
Cal Ripken Jr.
He's got the most consecutive games played, but
Cal
not the
Ripken
most.
Senior.
I don't know if he's got anything. It's Pete Rose though.
Pete Rose. That was my dad's favorite player.
A guy could hit. 3,500.
Didn't he get in trouble for betting
Yes.
on games? Yeah.
Yeah. That's why
That's why he's not in the Hall of
Fame.
Fame.
Right. He should be
In
because
Cooperstown.
Yeah.
he's on this list another time. So
Yeah.
3,562 games played.
That's a lot.
That's so many. 162.
162 a year. Do that math quick.
Nathan, what is that?
3,500 divided by 162. That's a lot of years.
Yeah.
Baseball is one of those sports, though, I think you can play until you're older.
There's a lot of longevity in it.
You know?
21.
21 years.
Yeah. That'll happen. Does that include postseason? I wonder.
I don't think these stats included postseason, no.
Okay.
So, home runs. Who's all-time home runs leader?
Babe Ruth. No, it's not. Is it Barry Bonds?
Yes,
Is that
Is it
really?
Barry Bonds?
it is.
Oh, he has like 893.
No. How many do you think he has? It's in the 700s.
748.
762.
762. I'm not very good at baseball stats.
Yeah, me either.
You're
Just learning that after 2.
Come to find out.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
Yeah, you're really opening some stuff for me.
Yeah.
who's got
Really opening my eyes here.
who's got the most hits?
Ichiro.
No,
No, it's not. It's Pete Rose.
it is Pete Rose.
Pete Rose.
4256.
42-56.
So he played 3,562 games and had 4,256 hits.
Damn. What's the best hits per game average, I wonder? You don't have that on there.
No,
Nathan, you can Google that. Most hits per game in the MLB career. But I see you have your thumb on the button, so you've got something for us before you research that.
I'll research the other one first.
Okay.
I'll tell you after the show.
Okay, sounds good.
as a batter, who do you think has the most strikeouts?
Miguel Sano.
Dude, if he played like maybe 3 more games, he might have it.
Yeah. Most strikeouts, Barry Bonds.
No.
Reggie Jackson.
Dude, quit reading my notes. You don't even know who Reggie Jackson is. This ruins the sanctity of the podcast,
Reggie
man.
Jackson-
give me a layup
He was- Reggie Jackson, he was on the American Idol judge.
Randy Jackson. Reggie
Oh,
Jackson.
yes.
Yeah,
His brother.
same thing.
No, Reggie Jackson played tuba in the Benchwarmers, remember?
I don't know his real name.
Reggie Jackson?
Did he act? That was actually Reggie Jackson?
In the movie Benchwarmers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
No kidding.
The more you
No
know.
kidding.
No kidding.
No shit, eh?
Who has the best career batting average? And this is an old guy.
Yeah, I know. It's Ted Williams.
Close. He's got the single season mark.
Hank Williams.
This is the singer.
Hank Williams.
You said it close.
Martina McBride.
It's not Hank Aaron.
No, it's not.
It's God, who is it? It's an older guy.
Tony Gwynn.
That's a good
Tony
guess,
Gwynn
but
is
it's
a good
not
guess.
him. He's in the top 5, I think, top 10 maybe.
I don't know. Who is it? I'm gonna know when you
It's
say
Ty
it.
Cobb.
Ty Cobb. I knew it started with a T.
Hit 366 in his career. It's pretty good.
Not bad.
Wins as a pitcher.
Lou Gehrig.
Wins as a pitcher.
He's
Cy
not even
Young.
a pitcher. It is Cy Young. How many?
Damn. The Cy Young Award.
No idea.
That makes sense.
600 some.
Close. 5'11".
5'11".
Strikeouts as a pitcher.
Strikeouts as a pitcher.
This guy's
It
really
is
famous.
Randy Jackson, not Randy Johnson. Randy Johnson.
No, he's number 2.
It's
But he's
the
way
other-
behind this guy.
It's the white
Nolan
guy.
Ryan.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Nolan Ryan, I think,
Randy
has.
Jackson.
Dude, Randy, these singers are just
Yeah.
Randy
They
Jackson
can
and
chuck it,
Hank
man.
Williams.
They can chuck it.
You'd be surprised what they
Yeah.
can do.
Yeah. Nolan Ryan has 5,714. He's the only guy to have 5,000 strikeouts.
Yeah. The only guy that will.
Yeah. Randy Johnson played for like 18 years and has like 4,800, I think.
Yeah.
So
I think the active leader in the NBA right now is Verlander. Or no?
yeah, it's either Verlander or Scherzer, one of those two.
Okay. I want to say it's
Yeah.
Verlander.
Complete games.
Complete games. Is that Randy Johnson?
No.
Ichiro.
Complete games.
Dude, at least guess a pitcher. I
He
mean,
probably
Oh,
does.
you're still talking about pitchers. I thought we were just talking about players.
Complete games played.
Well, he didn't get hurt. He played the whole game.
Yeah. That'd be a funny stat to have. Call Ace. Call StatCast and tell him to add that. Most complete games played by a player.
First base.
games finished.
You don't have to start him. You can pinch hit in the 8th.
Oh, man.
Games finished.
Who would it be? What is the original question?
Most complete games.
Most complete games. I don't know.
As
Is
a
it Cy
pitcher.
Young?
It is.
It's
Yeah.
Cy Young.
Dude, he's got 749 complete games.
Yeah, because back then they just had rubber arms and they'd pitch the whole game.
Yeah, they'd pitch the whole game and like do it again the next day.
Yeah. Yeah. they
These
also
guys
weren't
were throwing 250 pitches a game too.
and 75 miles an hour.
Right. Yeah.
See, that's probably why.
I think
The force you're exerting on a 102 mile an hour pitch
is way
probably
worse.
way different than
Right.
yeah.
I want to say
68 meatball.
striking guys
like
out.
the guy that threw the fastest way back then when guys were doing all this crazy stuff was Walter Johnson. And I think people were saying he threw like 88 to 91.
Yeah.
That's-
Which is now, if you throw
that's
88
so
to
average.
91, you're, yeah.
You'd probably do well in college.
And that's about it.
Yeah. You're Nick Blackburn. from
Right.
Minnesota Twins.
And Kevin Slowey.
Kevin Slowey. What a horrible name as a pitcher.
I got like a few like crazy stats on here. If you want to go through them, but if
Yeah.
not, like
Nathan, do you have that stat I asked for?
Which one was it?
Hits per game.
The most hits in a game?
Most hits per game, like a HPG. Like, so you take the number of hits in their career divided by the number of games they played. You know what I mean?
it's probably
Like
Pete Rose still.
like a points per game in the NHL.
Right.
Hits per game in MLB. Because Pete Rose, that's a lot. That's like 1.2 a game.
Let me see here. I gotta go back and look. 4,256 hits and 3,562 games. So yeah, something like,
1.1 ish, maybe
Yeah.
a little less.
but which is still insane because
Anything over 1 is absurd.
right.
Like, damn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That might be hard to find. If you
What
can't
was the little term that you used?
Hits
find.
per game.
Hits per game over a career.
Per? Is that what he's talking about?
Hits per game?
What's the term he used? Per?
It means each game.
Well,
Cecil
he's
Fielder
doing
made
that.
his MLB debut at just 21 years old.
Cecil.
Cecil?
No, that talks about Cecil Fielder and his son Prince Fielder, the guy who's fat as shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they debuted both at 21 years old. And then they both hit 319 career home runs.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Both
stat.
had one season with home run total in the 50s, one season with a home run total in the 40s, and one with total in the 30s.
Yeah,
Must be hereditary.
yeah. Each had 2 bastard children.
Really?
Jeez.
Not sure.
Wow. What kind of? Where's the stat cast on that?
Add that to the
Illegitimate children per game.
Yeah, per game.
0.002. Anything above 0 there is again astounding.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm a bastard child.
No luck.
That's all right.
Brothers BJ and Justin Upton both hit their 99th career home runs on the same day. BJ for the Rays, Justin for the Diamondbacks. Who owns the longest hitting streak? We'll end with that. Longest hitting streak. It is 56 games in 1941.
I know who it is. Liam, you want to give it a guess?
Tony Gwynn.
Just gonna guess Tony Gwynn for everything. Tony Gwynn,
Actually, I don't know
an
if I-
8-year-old.
Give me
I
a
don't know
hint.
if I do know who it is.
Give me a hint.
It's a Joe.
Mauer.
1941, pal. We're talking
Joe?
Pearl Harbor.
Now you tell me.
Joe. I just said 1941.
I didn't hear that part.
It's a Joe.
It is Joe.
Oh, Joe Mama.
That's never been funny except now. Come on. Oh, man.
was
Give me-
linked
give
to
me,
a very famous actress way back then.
Joe Upton.
Who is it? I
Uh,
thought I was going to guess Ted Williams.
No. He's the guy who hit over 400 in one season.
Another hint.
I'm mixed up. Dude, I used to play beat the sh- I used to
Marilyn
play
Monroe. He dated Marilyn Monroe. He played for the Yankees. I don't know what else I could say. His name's Joe
What's his last name start with?
D. And don't say Joe Dirt.
Joe DiMaggio.
Yes.
Yeah. He has the record?
Yeah. 56 game hitting streak. Yeah.
He was with Marilyn Monroe
Yeah. He dated Marilyn Monroe for a
during
while.
the hit streak? Or probably after he got dumped, would be my guess.
No, my guess is
Villain arc.
they dated
I'll
for
show her.
56 days.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
he's over.
Yeah. But yeah, that's our episode on baseball.
I thought that was a good one. What did you think of the notes format? Was it easier to...
I think, well, yeah, just a little bit of context of what we're talking about, and then some questions for you guys, maybe some like interesting stats, facts, whatever.
Yeah, I like the stories we chimed in there. It's
Much
good.
easier.
little bit
on an
more,
episode
yeah.
Like this, yeah.
Yeah,
a
it
little more
helps.
personable for
Yeah. And next week you guys get furniture, so enjoy that.
Yeah, soak it up.
what's your favorite chair?
We're going to do it. We got to
we
work
might
on
as
our
well.
funny skills. Yeah.
You did
So.
miss one stat.
One stat.
The it's best hitter
Tony Gwynn.
in a different category for MLB players. Trevor Bauer. He
Come on, man.
received-
He was acquitted.
Yeah, I know exactly what he's gonna say. He punched a lady.
He was acquitted.
Yeah, but so did Ray Rice.
That was a shakedown.
It was a
Trevor
shakedown.
Bauer,
She
yeah.
asked him to be violent.
Yeah.
It's proven.
Yeah. Do what you want on your own time.
Who was that really good MLB guy that just did a bunch of drugs and he was an outfielder, white guy, straight as us?
Did he die?
Josh Hamilton
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. That is exactly him. I think he
Yeah.
went to rehab.
hit 4
Yeah.
home runs in one game. He
Yeah.
couldn't get off coke. Maybe that's why he hit all those home runs.
Yeah.
Remember when Chris Davis had that one year where he hit like 51 bombs?
Yeah.
And then
That
he
was one of these
disappeared
stats on here.
off
Chris
his-
Davis hit exactly 247 for like 3 or 4 consecutive seasons.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
It's hard to do, but cool. All right.
So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.